All right. Hi, this is Dr. Kat Schreier, your mobile journalist at Success Tsunami. Be in the know with your mojo. I'm here with Justin Livingston, one of the foremost experts on Facebook, as well as many other things related to marketing for online businesses and coaching. Talon Rush.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what it is that you do and how this fits with the Success Tsunami training program.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I was sharing here today specifically was, in its purest form, it's lead generation, right? Getting more people that are interested in what it is that you're doing and leading them through a process or a sequence to leading them to become a paying client or a customer in your program or service, whatever. The exact implementation, in this case, we're talking about specifically using Facebook newsfeed ads, how to structure them, how to get people sharing them and commenting on them and clicking on them, and then eventually, going through a set sequence that I shared with that just does a really good job of getting people to the yes part of it, specifically with regards to buying programs and coaching packages and that kind of thing. And to answer your question about the Success Tsunami, what's really struck out for me so far with regards to the program and the information is people are really focusing on the sequences of things. I just talked about the sequence of a Facebook campaign, which is just a little, in the grand scheme of things, just a small scope, of course, of the sequence of what you're doing in what order to build a business, right from scratch in a lot of cases. And just a lot of great information. People sharing really great information with people. Really guiding them to make sure that they're doing the right things in the right order so that they get the result that they want at the end of the day. And it's critically important.
One of the things that's been fantastic today, throughout the day with the different speakers is we've got so many experts in the industry, but really folks here are rolling out the latest and greatest, and some of it sort of still looking at notes and still sort of piecing it together and say this is the first time we're trying this. This is different from taking a course where it's after it's already been thought out, polished, and all these things. This was a lot of new material that you were introducing. This is built up out of
that I was sharing in particular. Yeah, it was all new. I hadn't shared this information with anyone yet, so it was definitely a bit interesting. Yeah, I was reading the notes pretty early up there, as you mentioned, but it's definitely cutting edge stuff. It's what's working right now, and I like what Lonnie was saying too. I totally agree that and who knows how long these things will, like my Facebook ad sequence as an example. Will it work a year from now or 10 years from now? I don't know, maybe. But definitely we're talking about the ideas, the sequence of implementation and whatnot that works today.
So what is that sequence that you were talking about? It's kind of a nutshell.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So of course, within Success Tsunami, they're talking about all kinds of great, really important things. I was just talking about one little piece specific, using Facebook ads to generate leads. So the sequence that I was sharing was fairly simple. When it comes to selling programs and coaching packages and stuff like that online, I haven't found an easier, more effective way of doing that than the use of webinars. I've tested everything more than I needed to, and webinars just out-convert teleclasses or videos or anything else that you can use online. Now it's important caveat here. I'm talking about when you're leading people to a high-ticket purchase, like $500, $1,000, or $2,000. You don't need a webinar to sell $7, but let's be clear about talking about high-ticket stuff. So you want to use webinars. The problem is filling a webinar on through Facebook ads. It's hard to really scale. It's hard to get hundreds of people registering for your webinars every single day through Facebook ads. Anyway, you can fill them, make some money, but it's hard to really scale. So I shared a really simple sequence that makes us more than a couple $100,000 a month. We do over 400 opt-ins every single day from this one simple sequence. And so it starts with a Facebook ad, and we want to get people on our webinar. And all that we did was we, instead of having the ad promote the webinar directly, we just have we took a transcript of the webinar and created a report out of it. Gave the report the exact same name, same title, same promise, everything's exactly the same. We create the Facebook ad to promote the report. Well, when you do that, because it has that kind of instant gratification feel to it, the report, they get it right away, they can consume it right away. Those ads get a lot more engagement. People comment on them, they're thankful, they tag their friends in the comments, they share it, they like it. So what that does is now you're starting to scale the traffic that's generated from the posts. You get, I mean, if your results, when you try this, if they're anything like what we get 4 times as many opt-ins for the same ad spend when we're getting people opt in for the report instead of the webinar. Again, the promise is the same, the name, everything, you know, about it is identical. Just a report instead of a webinar, 4 times, so it's significant. But of course, the report, good luck selling a $2,000 program out of a report. You got to get people onto a webinar. But the key of having why it is so effective when you have the content be exactly the same is that as soon as people opt in for the report, you automatically direct them to your webinar registration page. You put a video on the page, and the video just says, hey, thank you so much for downloading the reports in your inbox right now. I just want to give you a quick heads up. I'm also doing, I just happen to be doing a webinar in the next couple of days. I'm actually sharing the exact same information. I'm just able to use some extra visuals and go into a little bit more detail. You know, if you'd like to grab a seat on the webinar, just go ahead and do so on the right side of the page, and I'm happy to see you. And that's it. And what you'll find is that if you're like me or any of the other people that I've shared this and put the sequence in place for, you'll get pretty much exactly 1 out of every 3 people that opt in for your report will also register for your webinar. So you'll end up with more webinar registrants, less ad spend, and way bigger list build with a simple tweak to a sequence. So that was basically what I was sharing from the stage today.
Well, that's great stuff. I mean, if there's anyone in the industry who has done more, I don't think anyone has done more right now in terms of really testing Facebook and pushing it to its limits as far as how to maximize those conversions. Ultimately, that's what people want to get, is actually getting butts in the seat and actually fun.
Well, if you do meet that person who's done more testing than me, make sure you introduce. I want to meet that person and swap stories for sure. Well, at least learn from them, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. Well, you know, it's been absolutely tremendous, and you've developed you and Callan have developed programs both around workshops as well as specifically around Facebook with the demand that you've gotten from others who've seen your success, right? What are those programs you're doing now?
Well, the Facebook one, we have a program called Facebook Advantage where I just share not only that particular sequence, but also all the subtleties with it and all the different campaigns that I use on Facebook. There's 5 of them, really. Make sure I get all my fingers in there. 5 of them that I use, so I teach them all how to use them and how to create the posts and all that cool stuff. Yeah, a really great program. People are getting really great results in there, which I love. And then, of course, there's the programs that Callan and myself are known for in the marketplace, which is serving workshop, retreat, and seminar leaders, teaching them how to fill their rooms, teaching them how to design their curriculum, how to design their live event spaces, and, of course, how to sell from stage and all of that cool stuff. So that's still with the focus of that company. Sharing people this Facebook stuff is just pretty much an aside. Really, I just did this because so many people wanted me to share it with them. So. And I'm enjoying it right now too. So you know, I'm on the Facebook groups and doing some live things just because I'm enjoying it right now too. So that really helps. Very
cool. Well, we are enjoying having you, and hope that you all will enjoy watching the rest of the interviews. We're going to be interviewing all of the speakers, and thanks so much for joining us. And if you can get down here to Myrtle Beach, we can still fit a couple more folks. And it is just absolutely amazing program today through Friday, and a VIP special workshop on Saturday.
Nice.
So come on down here to Myrtle Beach. Check out www.successtsunami2014.com. And thanks so much. See you soon.